the Delorean from Back to the Future, the Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit, the Batmobile, the Ectomobile. You've heard of them. We're talking about them on this episode. Settle down and saddle up. We're talking cars on Chrome Dome Radio.
Chrome Dome Radio, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man-child. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the internet, the reckless, and podcasting. In a world of creators who operate with much better technology.
Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. You got Chris here.
I'm Zach.
And tonight our guest is Jeff.
For the billionth time.
Everybody likes Jeff.
Hi-ho.
So, let's do this. Let's talk about some cars. You and I went to Caffeine and Octane, Jeff.
Yes, we did. It was fantastic.
It was a really good time. So, Caffeine and Octane is one of the biggest car shows on the East Coast. I mean, that's fair, right?
I think so. I mean, they have it all over different locations, too, and whatnot. I mean, I think some of them they call them different names for it, too. Like, if you go to Maryland, they have another name for it and whatnot, too. Or
is it a different name?
I think it is, but they also have Caffeine and Octane in the Southeast as well. But they have different, the same concept across in the Northeast.
They have like Earl Grey tea and Octane.
But yeah, Caffeine and Octane's been around for a while though too, and it's like every other Sunday, like once a month or so. Or?
It's the first Sunday of every month here in Atlanta.
Yes,
even in the winter.
You know what? They used to stop in the winter, and they might actually go year round now.
I think they do. I mean. And they have all kinds of cars from everything. They have like like a high end, like Rolls Royce and stuff like that there, all the way down to like your $1,500 Honda Civic there, and they have a little bit of everything for everybody. So I mean, and like I'm one of those guys that like geeked out over like third generation Camaros, like nobody's business. I mean. Like I saw one right now that's just this, dog shit car, and I'm like, dude, that car is awesome right now. The only thing that's missing right now was like a Def Leppard Pyromania like cassette tape on the dash, and I was like, listen, man, I'm all in for your car. I have a little bit of money I can give you, and maybe I can take it off your hands. But
it's amazing how crappy cars like that are so sentimental to some people.
That was my first car. Was an '86 Camaro.
Yeah,
my very first car.
It means, and it's in the end, it's just a Camaro.
Yeah,
it's not even that hard to get one.
No, I mean...
especially a third gen.
No, they're everywhere. Like, if you want to get a third gen Camaro, all you have to do is, like, save up your allowance money and go buy one on Facebook Messenger. I mean, they're still pretty inexpensive for... And if you're one of those guys who's pretty mechanical, they're a great project car, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, they're built like Legos.
Right.
You could pop a bigger motor. It'll fit a big block under the hood. That's what's cool about those cars, too. Like, they came stock with crappy motors, except if you were able to get the 350. Yeah. But it wasn't as popular. But you could bore over the 350 to make a 383, or you could easily fit a big block under the hood.
You want to hear an interesting story though? Is this like because the IROC Z had a couple different motors you could use, but one of them they had was the big one was the 5.7 liter V8. Those were all automatics, right? They didn't make a manual transmission for them. You
said that, and I actually didn't even know that.
You want to know why though?
Why? Because
the transmission was a T5 transmission, the manual. It couldn't handle the actual power coming out of that motor.
The 700R4 was in the automatics,
right?
And that was an awesome transmission,
right? And it could handle that motor, but the T5 was a piece of shit manual because they went to the T56s later on,
yes,
in the 90s, and like Corvette during that time had what's called the Doug Nash transmission, which was a 4-speed manual, but then had an overdrive on there too. These are for the C4 models.
Okay, is that also true for the Formula 350s, the Firebirds?
Yeah, they use a T5.
So but even for the 3, they never paired up on any third gen F body. They never paired up the 350 with the manual transmission.
I don't think they did. I'm thinking about it now. I really don't think they did, in my opinion. I think they were all automatics. Like, I mean, I had my second car was an '89 Firebird. Granted, it was a V6, but like, I remember back then though, you're really hard pressed to find a manual transmission version of them though. I think those were almost all exclusive to the 305 V8s that were manual. I don't think the 350s even had a manual option. I know for IROCs they definitely didn't have it.
No, I think that's true. I don't think any IROCs were. I'm wondering if the Z28s were. And I'm wondering if that also applies to Pontiac. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's the same car.
Yeah, no. I mean, they're both GM cars, so I don't see why not. I mean, they're from the same factory.
So we happened to go on a day where the weather wasn't great, but it still had a solid turnout. But I noticed something that was kind of strange. A lot of the custom cars weren't there.
No, they're
you know what I mean? Like sometimes people build like rat rods. Those are some of the coolest cars to see.
Love those.
It's like they built a car out of a bathtub. There's like a bathtub rolling around with you.
Cars I love too are like the old Depression era Fords and stuff like that though, where they have like those big remove the hoods and have the giant
with the exposed motor,
right?
Yeah, like a Dick Tracy car.
Yeah, those are super awesome.
But
Ford Hybrids or the Ford called the High Bodies or something like that.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So you and I, when we first got there, we walked right into the supercar section. So they don't purposely do this, but they try to have similar cars in the same section, right? Mm-hmm. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So we happened to park probably closest to the supercars. So we immediately walked into Ferraris and Lamborghinis, but you and I were really like looking for the muscle cars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big GM head. I always have been. There's always been like in my entire life, I've either owned a GM or a Toyota-based product.
That's funny that it's GM or Toyota.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually, Sally, I've always been a big Toyota fan, like the Toyota Spider, and I've always liked the Super 2 back in the day.
Speaking of GM, you just picked up a Corvette.
Yeah, I got a 2002 Chevy Corvette Electron Blue, and it's a 6-speed manual with a couple aftermarket upgrades. Brultec cold air intake and a Corsa dual exhaust in the vehicle.
Don't forget about the roof.
No, that's a Target top roof. You can take that guy off and turn into a convertible. So it's a lot of fun.
And the flag.
And the best thing about this vehicle is it caused no drama within your family.
No, none at all. My mother doesn't talk to me anymore.
Tell the story of acquiring this vehicle.
Okay, listen, just to let you guys know right now, I've been happily married for quite some time right now. I mean, I'm happily married. My wife, I don't know, but we have terrible communication. I have things I want to do, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go and do it. So for a past year, I've been really wanting a Corvette. That's my dream car. I mean, I've always been a big I've never been a huge Ferrari or Lamborghini fan, just because I was I think those cars are just kind of, I don't know, just they don't really they don't do it for me.
You know what I think it is too?
They're unattainable.
Maybe that. Yeah.
That's a different level. A Corvette was a realistic expectation. Mm-hmm. Do you think you said that for yourself? You're one day I can realistically have a Corvette.
Yeah, that's probably so. I mean, because my uncle's got a Corvette. He's got a C6 Grand Sport. You know,
and he's not that great.
Sorry. I mean, he's all right. But that was always my dream car even as a kid. Though I always really liked the C4 Corvettes till I drove one. And the thing drives like a fucking land yacht. You can't make 3-point turns on there. You really can't make a U-turn of the car. That was
the funniest thing about the old cars. And I think we mentioned this. Maybe we didn't mention it on the last episode, but
the last episode I wasn't invited.
That's right. I did it by myself. The one before that, not the faux episode.
Your slow strategy to push me out of this podcast. Take over Chromedom for yourself.
But I was exactly. I was laughing because I was thinking about it. I'm like, muscle cars are the stupidest cars on the road.
Yeah, they're dumb.
They're so dumb because they were designed to tear asphalt and rubber apart. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's just a caveman car.
And they fishtail. That is what it is. It's a caveman car. They fishtail, they burn rubber. They don't even stop well.
Because a bunch of American morons are just
I go fast! I go fast, go loud. Just and it's so loud.
And I get it. I mean...
All right, so... Fun. No, yeah, go ahead.
No, that sounds fun.
It is fun. It's a lot of fun.
I just want to ask something about the muscle car, which I really enjoy. Though personally, I've always been attracted to a lot of the old school '60s muscle cars and whatnot. Because the reason why is because naturally I'm a tinkerer. I like to do a lot of DIY, and those are really DIY cars in my opinion. Because think about the old school the Depression era Fords and Chevy cars. Those became really popular in the shortly after World War II because they became affordable for people to buy. After the turn of World War II because people had a couple of bucks.
Anybody could work on them.
Right, and they're easy to work on. They were cheap too. Mm-hmm. So you could have some kid who's 19 years old and put his own motor in there, and he's got a cool rat rod to pick up chicks at the little drive-thrus and stuff. So
at the Caffeine and Octane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Caffeine and Octane. So yeah, I mean it's a long history.
Neat.
So I gave you a homework assignment.
Yes.
I wanted you to think of, let's say, your top 3 or 4 muscle cars of all time.
My number 1 muscle car was a Pontiac GTO.
Yeah, I was debating if we should start at number 3 or not, but what year GTO?
The 66.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking 65. Mm-hmm. Why'd you pick the 66?
The 66, I think, is when they introduced the 454 block, I believe.
Is that true?
I think it. I don't know for sure, but I think that's when I remember when they introduced the big block 454s for that car. I mean, if listen, maybe he's listening right now. They can debunk me on this. Feel free. But I think it might have been 66. I can't confirm that, but I've always liked that 66 version.
Yeah.
Number 2, I've always liked the the Plymouth Roadrunner.
That's an underrated car. Not a lot of people talk about that one.
No, the Roadrunner. I mean, it doesn't get shit on, but it always flies under the radar. Mm-hmm. I mean, because really, people like go kind of crazy with that car. Put the little Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner on there though. Yeah. It's usually like some sort of southwestern coloring scheme to it. So it's a cool car. And number 3, I would probably say a '69 Camaro.
It's hard to deny that one.
Yeah, because
that's like the elephant in the room every time you have a muscle car conversation. By the way, if you're a purist, you wouldn't even consider a Camaro a muscle car. It's a pony car.
And that's true.
Which I don't buy into.
I don't buy into it either, because they put in that same... Because the reason why they had that was GM's answer to the Mustang, because the Mustang came out at, 64 and a half or something like that. So, because, that was a really popular car. People were buying Mustangs like they're going out of style. So, they did that, and they had to come and answer for that. So, they had the Firebird and the... Camaros come out.
Yeah. I agree with 2 of yours, but I think I gotta get the Chevelle on the list. And I would
That's a good one.
I would probably say like a 70 or 71 Chevelle.
That's a good one right there. That also had a big block too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Chevelle was a muscle car. It's a full-blown, full-size muscle car. Just big, stupid, heavy, tear asphalt, fishtail.
And I challenge anybody who wants to drive one of those cars, though. If you drive like an all original with no power steering or anti-lock brakes.
Yeah.
And if you drive one with a 4-speed manual transmission that has not an updated gearbox, I mean, trying to shift gears is dude, I mean, you gotta really throw your shoulder into shifting those gears and muscling that clutch down.
Dude, those things
perhaps why they called it a muscle car.
Yeah.
Only bodybuilders could use them.
Yeah, those things on the highway with those transmissions, man, you'll be going 55 and it's like, wah! It's so loud. All right, and the other thing I wanted to talk about while we're talking about cars, our favorite, or let's say it this way: what would you say are the top 3 or 4 again most iconic Hollywood cars of all time? Let's go backwards for this one.
Backwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to do 3 or 4? Let's do top 3,
and
then we'll do honorable mentions afterwards.
I want to go first because I just want to take all of yours.
Yeah, go.
Yeah.
So
let's all do number 3.
Number 3, I'm gonna take all of yours right now. I'm just gonna tell you.
I know you're gonna, because you already know. You probably could name my. Okay, you know
number
what you could
3.
do?
Number 3. But they're in my order.
Okay, but what you could do is have your own and then predict what mine would be.
Okay, so. But either way, my top one's the same as yours, I think, probably. But no, my number 3 is the DeLorean.
Okay.
From Back to the Future.
Okay.
My number 2 is...
Well, hang on. Should we all do 3?
You want to go 3?
And then
okay.
Go. What's your 3?
So are we going from most iconic or my favorites?
Let's say... Okay, fair enough. Should we do your favorites?
But they have to be iconic.
They should be iconic, though.
Okay. My number 3, though, is from... Steve McQueen's Bullet Mustang.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Nice.
Good call.
Yeah.
That's because to my opinion, you see the Eleanor body Mustangs, and they're cool looking cars, but I thought those were really overdone, especially back when I was in high school, because that's when what was it, Gone 60 Seconds came out. Mm-hmm. So everybody's just nutting over like oh my god, you get your fucking Eleanor Mustang, you're so fucking badass. And I'm like, I mean, it's a cool car, but I like the Bullet Mustangs. It's more of a simpler, sleeker look, that fastback, and I just really like that one better.
You're talking about the 69 fastback?
Yes.
The GT500.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it was in both Gone in 60-second movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Eleanor.
Yeah, Eleanor. That's right.
Yeah.
Eleanor body style. They call it Eleanor.
Yeah. My number 3 is Kit. I'm going Kit
from Knight Rider.
From Knight Rider, because David Hasselhoff is a man crush of mine.
See, that was gonna be
you knew
number
I was
2.
Going there.
Yeah,
you're gonna go number 2.
I was doing all 3 of yours, but I was gonna. That was my number 2.
See, it's hard to explain how cool Kit was then, because Kit was so advanced for the time. A car that could drive itself. It spoke to you. Mm-hmm. Cars literally do that now. There's nothing special about Kit now.
Yeah.
But this was 30
it still had
years
a lot of
ago.
personality for a car.
No, it did. That's fair. I mean, it was like basically talking to a human. AI. We're not that far from there.
No, not really. But at the same time, you're never going to get Kit specifically.
Right. Exactly. And the other difference is Kit was like bulletproof or bomb-proof. Like,
Yeah,
it was
and it
indestructible.
had the jump mode.
Yeah, it had jump mode. By the way, did you ever notice how the car would switch from being a convertible to a T-tops to a hardtop throughout the show?
Yeah, I did see that.
Like, not even different episodes, like different scenes in the same episode would have 3 different versions of the car.
So, because it could morph.
Yeah, I guess
that
so.
was one of its powers.
But they never showed it morphing. It was just...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I remember this back in the day when your brother had, was it like a 2010 Camaro? Is that right?
Nick had a 2011 Camaro.
2011. He did something like that with the Arduino.
He did.
We could talk to his car from his phone and could do things to it.
It was very cool. He
So that was
wrote
rad.
that. He wrote that himself. He wrote a program to where he could speak to his phone and say, "Hey, like turn on your lights," and the headlights would turn on. But
Didn't he have an LED to mimic the Knight
had,
Rider thing?
He had a Knight Rider LED under
was
the
cool.
grill.
That's pretty dope.
And
That
it
was
was
a sick car,
it was a
too.
jet black Camaro. But his favorite thing is when he told it to get angry. He'd be like, "Get angry," and it would like all the lights would flash and like. It was cool. He could have sold that. That was a lot
That
of
was
fun.
pretty neat.
Oh, he still has it?
Well, I mean, he could have sold not the car. He could have sold
program.
the program.
Oh, I see.
But work.
Yeah.
All right, number 2, Zach.
So you took my number 2, which is your
His
number
kid.
3. So I'll replace it with one that I actually do like that I don't think anybody will mention. Is the General Lee.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up the General Lee because I thought I was going to have to mention that as an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Because there's very obvious ones, but you have to have General Lee in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what the honorable what we're not going to discuss
Yeah,
now.
okay.
General Lee is so iconic that there are museums dedicated to that car.
So I don't think there's even anything all that special about the car. Now, obviously, I am not a car guy.
It was just a Charger, right?
Yeah, it's just a Charger,
It was-
and they
no.
destroyed like something like 1 million of them during the run of that show. And but I don't know, just seeing that thing jump over so many rivers. It escaped the cops so many times.
Was General Lee a Charger?
I think it was.
Yeah,
it
I'm
was-
pretty sure it's a Dodge Charger.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 69
Yeah, 69 Charger.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing super special about it. It's just a cool looking car
Car's worth
for
a
the
fortune,
time.
too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a 6-figure car if you want to buy that.
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's like $100,000 you want to buy a pristine version of that car.
I didn't know that.
They're a lot of money. Dude, like my uncle's bought a like an all-original 69 Camaro and paid like $75,000 for it.
Yeesh.
Yeah, they're a
I
lot
guess
of
just
money.
because it's hard to find them now without the
They're in demand.
souped upness.
They're in demand, and they ship a lot of them overseas too.
So,
What's your number 2, Jeff?
My number 2 is the Volkswagen Beetle from Herbie the Love Bug.
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that one too.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. Herbie, everybody knows Herbie.
Yeah, dude, that's a sick car, dude. I love Herbie the Love Bug. It's a cute car though, man. Like, I mean, one thing about that car too, and just so you guys know, I'm 6'3". I can actually sit in that car, believe it or not, and drive it. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of headroom in that car.
It's amazing.
It's an
It's the
arch.
shape
It's like
of
the
it, yeah.
magical.
Yeah. It's a fun car, dude. I mean, especially it was a 4-cylinder, wasn't it? I can't remember.
Dude, I don't even think it was that big.
Was it?
I think it was like a moped motor, and it was in the rear.
You know, I will venture to say that no other car is responsible for as much violence. The punch buggy.
I mean, it's a fair argument.
Change my mind. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Herbie's the most violent car ever. Change my mind. All right, my
number
number 2, the Ectomobile.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Yep.
I didn't
Fantastic.
expect that one to be in your top 3, but all right.
By the way, Dan Aykroyd was so passionate about that project because he's a psychopath and he believes in ghosts and stuff. But every little trinket and thing on that car had intention. They didn't just put things to look cool. Like, if you watch him describe the parts on the car, he's like, this is what this does, this is what this does, this is what... It's like, dude, he put a lot of thought into not only the car, but everything that they were using in that movie. The proton packs, the trap things. It's actually kind of amazing.
Well, he's, like you said, a psychopath.
He is.
Yeah.
100%. All right, so are you up to your number 1 now?
This is my number 1.
Go.
Should we do a drum roll? The Batmobile, 89. Come on.
Oh,
Yeah.
sick.
Tim Burton's Batmobile.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's the best looking Batmobile. It is
Yeah.
one of the sexiest cars ever, and it had armor plating.
Yes, it did. Hang on, let's.
Although the armor plating might not have come out until Batman Returns. Not sure.
Jeff, number 2.
Number 1.
I mean, number 1. Sorry.
I don't know if this is going to be said or not later on, but my number 1 was the Smokey the Bandit Trans Am with Burt Reynolds.
We're doing a good one. We're doing a good job,
dude. Like, that's a phenomenal car, man. Like to me, like, that second generation Trans Am was just such an iconic look, though, because people have to understand was back in the 70s with that major gas crisis. So all those cars, American cars, went straight to hell. Like, they really just were really underpowered, and the actual engineering wasn't that great, and they really suffered for a long time because of it. But that's a beautiful looking car. I love that 77 Trans Am.
It really is.
And then I think they destroyed something like 20 cars in that movie too.
Oh, they destroyed so many cars. You could see it every time they do a jump because it lands on the nose. It completely totals the car every time it lands. It bends up, and then seconds later, it's perfectly in mint condition again.
Oh yeah.
All right, my number 1. You guys know it. That's the DeLorean.
Yes.
Really, the DeLorean it beats out the Batmobile.
Yeah, I didn't even put Batmobile on my list.
That's crazy. I would have thought
it was going to be my honorable mention.
Yeah.
But so we do need honorable mentions now.
I got one.
We forgot a lot. Go ahead, go.
My honorable mention is the Ferrari from Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, I was thinking that one too.
Nice one.
Absolutely.
Fun fact about that car, everybody. That's not a real Ferrari. That was a kit car.
Huh.
It was a replica.
Neat.
What was it, like a Fiero?
No, it's a replica. I don't know it was a Fiero, but it was just a replica Ferrari. It wasn't real.
That's cool.
Yeah, it wasn't a real Ferrari.
I didn't know that.
No. Should they wreck that Ferrari though when they go through that glass?
Yeah, good point. Why would they do that?
Hell no, man. It's probably the.
So wait, was it just fake for that one scene, or was it fake the whole movie?
I think it was fake the whole movie. It wasn't a real Ferrari.
Son of a gun.
Yeah, because it was like a '62 Ferrari. Was it 355 or something like that? I remember. I don't know if it could be wrong. I'm not a huge
No, it was a Spider.
The Spider.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not a huge Ferrari expert by any means, but I know it was like a '62 Ferrari if I'm not mistaken.
It was sick.
Yeah, dude, it's a beautiful car. I like a lot of those 50s and 60s Ferraris and Mercedes. They're really nice looking vehicles, but that car was iconic because a lot of the premise of that movie was surrounded around it, where Cameron's not trying to leave. He's oh, my dad loves his car more than me. Loves it more like the shelf. Ferris doesn't drive the car. He wipes it with a diaper. And all of a sudden, Ferris is like, no, this car's meant to be driven. And, and he picks up his girlfriend from the car and just. And these dudes joyride the car for half the movie. It's cool. It's real cool.
And then they destroy it at the end.
Yes, they do. And for some weird reason, they try to roll the miles back by putting the car in reverse because yeah, that works. You dumb fuck.
Well, they were high school kids.
But didn't it work in the movie?
No, it didn't work. And then they freaked out, and then they threw it out the window.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah. No, they didn't throw it out the window. It was because he kept kicking the car.
Yeah.
Oh, he kicked the car, rolled off. He's like...
let's not put it on the e-brake on the 3rd floor or whatever the hell they were in.
Oh, no.
Honorable mention, you got one?
Yeah, actually. The monster truck from Tango and Cash, which was souped up.
That's a real good one.
Yeah. It was pretty neat. They had guns and stuff on it, and they just have a giant battle scene at the end of the movie. And, so Sly Stallone and Kurt Russell just throwing out stupid 80s one-liners the whole time.
Look at that.
It's sick. What's not to love?
And what's not to love about a guy who talks to the left side of his mouth? Communication just to bridges. Well, it didn't work out so well.
I got a good honorable mention.
I'm a stockbroker, but I'm a cop for fun. That movie's so dumb.
It's not dumb.
It is.
It's
dumb.
Fun.
Did you ever see it? Either?
Yeah, I finally did see
it. Did you?
Yeah.
Good.
I had to. You made me. I liked
Terry
it.
Hatcher. Oh.
Yeah, you're right. You told me too.
20-year-old Terry Hatcher.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brain Smasher, the love story Terry Hatcher. Are you shitting me? Smoke show.
Ridiculous.
All right, my honorable mention: the Aston Martin from the James Bond movies.
Oh wow, classy choice.
Yeah.
Those are amazing looking cars. In fact, in my opinion, they're probably one of the best interiors ever in a vehicle.
I don't even know what it looks like on the inside.
Have you seen the interior of an Aston Martin?
Oh, in general?
Yeah,
I've seen more modern ones, not the old classy ones.
Oh, classic ones. The old modern. I mean, the new ones look like they're inside of a cockpit of an airplane, like a nice one.
Do you have a specific movie in mind?
I don't know. Wasn't that Aston Martin in all of them?
No idea.
I'm actually not sure either.
Not a big James Bond.
I'm always
The Spy Who Loved Me, was that?
I think so. That had that one.
I think it was in it.
I thought they always had different cars on the.
Dude, I love
James
that
Bond
interior.
movies.
This looks incredible.
Very nice.
Oh, this is the modern.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is nice.
You know what? One more honorable mention.
It's tight.
Those the minis from
Italian
Job.
Yep, that's a good one.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was a main point. That was a main plot point for the movie too. They actually served a purpose.
Yeah, because they had to be light and fast and hold a lot of weight,
and they had to fit through the hallways.
Yeah.
I thought of another one, the Starsky and Hutch car.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
What did they call that thing? Like the striped tomato or something?
Didn't ever watch the show. I just watched the Ben Stiller and Luke Wilson movie.
Oh, the movie, yeah.
Just do it. Do it.
Do it.
And I have another honorable mention, though, is it's probably not going to get a lot of love, though, because there's a lot of the cars in the movie. But if you watch the original Fast and the Furious...
Oh, no, that's fair.
Because, like...
you talking about the Skyline or the...
No, it was...
The Charger?
It was the Charger at the very end of the movie where he has like that 900 horsepower Charger with that giant like V8 or V8 block.
It had a blower thing coming out.
He lived his life 1/4 mile at a time.
I need a 10-second car. Oh no! So now he's like this bitch for the whole movie. Like Paul Walker is like, because Paul Walker's a terrible actor. Like he's a great looking guy, he's a great leading man. But like if you watch his movies, he plays the same like sort of like same role in every movie where he's like, yeah, dude, I surf all day and live in like a small trailer. So he's like,
well, what about Varsity Blues?
Same character.
But he didn't surf.
No,
he played football all day and lived in a small. Well, he lived in a nice house.
He sure did.
With a billboard with his face on it.
Yeah, and his what do you call it? His gold digger girlfriend was like trying to like get with James Vanderbeek because he's not starting quarterback. He's like,
what was that girl's name? You knew it, Chris. What was the girl's name?
Oh, Allie Larder.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Allie Larder.
A very generic looking face. I mean, it's still Spanish, but fuck it.
But you like striking. Like it's weird looking. Like I don't know. Like I think she was pretty. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, I would smash. I mean, let's not get it twisted.
Listen, Jeff. I've never called that into question.
No.
About almost any woman we're talking about.
All right, that's fair. I'm not sure we're on the same page here. But like, I mean, it's still that whipped cream bikini scene is still like.
Yeah, you still think of that.
Yeah, forever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we forgot about Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Never seen it.
Don't care.
Oh, you never saw Chitty Chitty Bang Bang? It's 4 hours of nothing happening.
Really?
It's such a long movie. There's an intermission. You know, like old school movies that intermissions in the middle.
Yeah.
Flintstone's car.
Well, if we're gonna get into cartoons, there's a whole bunch more. By the way, we already mentioned the Batmobile, but we didn't mention the '60s TV show Batmobile.
Yeah. Well, that. What kind of car was that actually?
Oh my god!
I think it was a Challenger.
Oh, let's see.
Don't know.
'60s Batmobile. That one was so cool.
It was pretty neat. That was like they had a lot of like weird like corners at that era.
Check that out. It was a concept car for a Lincoln Futura.
Huh.
Futura. They were like, this is what cars will look like in the future.
That's such a cool looking car though.
That is neat.
It
had the fire shooting out the back, right?
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, sick.
Well, okay, more modern than the Tumblers become pretty iconic from the new Batman movies.
Is that really a vehicle though? It's like a tank.
It's a tank.
Should we just or like the F-18 from Top Gun, super iconic vehicle.
Oh man, the car from Christine.
Oh, of course, I forgot about
Christine. It was a Plymouth Fury. Ugh. Dude, that was that car just looks scary now. Just looking at it.
Yeah, it's gonna run you over.
I'm terrified.
Mind of its own.
And it's gonna murder you.
Unless you're in love with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it for the screen here so everybody can see it. That was Christine. That was a horror. What was that? The 80s?
Yeah. How would that relationship have worked though?
What?
The driver in the car.
The driver. Oh, what do you mean? How would it work?
I mean, what is he gonna put it in the tailpipe or? There was no future there. The girl needed the move on. That's all I'm saying. She was clingy.
But Christine was just like an evil Herbie. Right?
Who wins in a fight, Christine or Herbie?
No, I think Christine all day long.
Yeah, probably.
Because
bigger body.
And Herbie had gotten destroyed several times.
Can Herbie fly? Never seen the movie.
No, Herbie can't fly. He just hit you with when he opens his doors.
Oh, that's dumb.
And you go, no! And they're like, no! It opens its doors on its own. What's another? What's another?
So stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Another iconic car.
Yeah. I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
There's
it seems
a lot of them.
we got them all.
We did mention
every car.
We did mention Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a real crappy car from a movie.
The
dude from
Garth's car from Wayne's World.
Yeah.
The Mirthmobile?
The Mirthmobile.
That single-handedly revitalized Queens
that's a great low key when they go to the fast food restaurant, but when they're just driving around doing Jesus Christ, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It revived Bohemian Rhapsody, and it got revived again this past year. That song's got a weird history.
Yes, it does.
I thought of one, and then I immediately forgot it when you said crappy cars. The station wagon from
Vegas Vacation.
the vacation movies.
Yeah, all the vacation movies.
That thing, yeah.
They killed the dog. That was so funny. The cop he must have been dragging it for a while.
Oh my god.
I've never seen that in the same movie. They had Christy Brinkley driving that Ferrari next door.
Yeah, there you go. That's an iconic scene.
Yeah, Super Smoke Show driving that car. Or what about Dazed and Confused? Like they had the
there was a lot of hot rods in that though.
Yeah, because I think Ben Affleck was driving a GTO too, wasn't he?
It might have been
GTO Judge. Come to think of it.
Yeah, there was also the Mad Max car.
Oh man, that's sick.
Speaking of the new Mad Max movie, that crazy ass double layered Cadillac monster truck thing. I know that's a really new movie, but I feel like people will think of that car for a while now.
I just think of the guy playing the guitar with the pyro.
That's what I remember too.
That was sick.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah,
I hit the top 40 movie cars of all time, and it's this crazy looking Cadillac. It looks like it looks like the Ectomobile. It's the same year car, but instead of being the ambulance model, it's the coupe model. Hey guys, let us know in the comments what your favorite movie car of all time is. That's all the time we have today, so check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Play. Find the video on YouTube and exotv.me. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.